Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me? Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be starting with, and we're back, aren't I? Sorry. Yeah, gotta get in that habit. So I'm having technical issues. My Stream Deck stopped working. It's kind of annoying. In fact, it's more than kind of annoying. It's really annoying. However, it's not that much of a problem. I just have to use the mouse and keyboard. And since I'm not going to be playing any games, it doesn't really matter too much. Let's have a look how the streams are doing. 254 concurrent viewers. Only 34 likes. What are you doing, people? Oh my God. Smash the like button or whatever it is I'm supposed to say. And Twitch. We got some people on Twitch. I see the Twitch. We may be back, but are we in black? I'm half, if that counts. And I've forgotten how to sit right. Yes. Okay, so everything looks okay on Twitch as well. Right. We had another $10 donation to the end. I hate saying this because it's too many vowels. End Alzheimer's campaign. Another $10 donation. So thank you from Anonymous. I missed that one. I've now expanded the goal because we've already beaten the original goal before the stream, before the charity stream actually starts. Those of you that don't know, there is going to be a charity stream. It will be tomorrow night if you are American, or Tuesday morning at some insane o'clock if you are European. So I am currently transitioning to night shift for a while. I'm going to be doing a stream for Europeans, 9 p.m. Central European time. So that'll be 8 p.m. in Britain, 9 p.m. for the rest of Europe, where I will talk to everyone about what I'm going to be doing, introduce the character. I may even let you guys do a poll on things like color of power armor, that sort of thing. Because honestly, I'm torn. And we'll just introduce the character, tell you what's going on, and just give the European people a chance to at least come on and engage. Then I'll be taking a break, and then I'll be returning at 3 a.m. my time, which I believe is 8 p.m. Central US time. And I will be playing the newly created mod. And if I'm not completely wrong, are they still modding for Alzheimer's? Some of them are offline. Sagittarius is still streaming from the looks of things. So Sagittarius is still doing something. The rest are on a break at the moment. I know they stopped in time for the showcase. I don't know if they finished now. I don't know if they finished the mod. Do not tell me anything about the mod, please. I'm going in blind. I've spent the better part of this week actually getting a... It takes quite a while, even if you're speeding through. It takes quite a while to get a lot of places unlocked in Fallout 4. For example, I suddenly decided, you know what? I want the Silver Shroud outfit. Just in case. Because you never know, right? You do never know if they've added some Silver Shroud lines or something, right? I mean, it's unlikely because they would need a voice actor for the player, which probably isn't happening. But seems most of the games with the protagonist you have to play a female. What are we talking about? You're talking about the Xbox. Anyway, we'll move on to Xbox in a second. So yeah, so basically I'll be playing that mod. We're probably going to be getting in chat with King Gath and Wes Johnson. For those of you that don't know, that is the voice actor for many characters, including the Silver Shroud in Fallout 4, actually. So, he's also Sheogorath in Skyrim. So, I mean, he's done loads of them. He was also Hermaeus Mora. Like, he just does so many voices. And I think, I don't know what's going to be happening, but maybe they'll be chatting to each other and I'll join them or something. We're not completely sure. What mod? Well, I don't know. I've been avoiding any spoilers. They've created a quest mod from scratch this weekend, live streaming, and they will be revealing it to me, and I will be playing it for the first time. So I've got myself I've blasted through a save. I've got all of the major factions unlocked so that so if for some reason, like, you have to go to the Institute, I can do that. I've got places like the castle unlocked. I've got the Silver Shroud, like I said. And my character's going to be mid-40s by the looks of things. So hopefully I'll be able to do absolutely anything, no matter what they do. And we'll just see. We did it last year. It was hilariously funny. It was brilliant, even though it was bugged a little bit. But hopefully they've given themselves a bit more wiggle room this time, and that we will have a smoother time of it, which maybe will actually be less fun. Because sometimes the bumps. Who made it? It's King Gath, Eleonora, Noctium, and there's a bunch of others. There's a load of Fallout 4 modders have made it. And they did it live streaming the entire affair. So you could have actually watched the mod being created. It's got Eleonora in it, so it's going to have a player home. I believe they've got some new pieces of armor, maybe probably some new weapons. So it's a quest mod. And they got some voice actors, so there you go. And I'm not in this one. Were you not in it, Noctium? I think you're still listed on the page when I look at them. Noctium, thank you for the $500 donation. I saw that. Did you do that offline? I think you did that offline. Thank you very much. You and one other donator pretty much smashed my initial target. So yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about that tomorrow. And I'll give you all the information. Obviously, most of you who are listening to me now, actually no, maybe a lot of you are on American time now. It's getting a bit later. A lot of my regular viewers won't be able to join me because I'll be starting at 3 p.m. Probably won't be finished till 7 in the morning. Sorry, 3 a.m. And I probably won't be finished till like 7 a.m. in the morning or something. Kids will be gone. They'll have already gone to school by the time I'm finished. So, yeah. So it's going to be that. I will not be talking about the Formula One. It was kind of fun. It was kind of interesting. We should now talk about the Xbox Showcase. Should we not? Yes, we should. Let's have a look at this. I'm going to be leaving the donate links up for those of you who don't think you can make it and you want to donate now. Will I play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? Yeah, of course I will. But let's do this in order, right? Now, some of you will probably have noticed that my earlier stream has gone down. It has been copyright struck to hell. Like, at least 3 strikes, sort of thing. Not the dangerous type of strikes, but still worrying ones. And so I have told it to remove the music. It's currently in editing. It will go back up, probably, assuming those strikes go. But to be honest with you, I would suggest, if you actually want to know my thoughts and feelings on this is probably the video for you anyway. I'm going to basically try and talk about the things that I found kind of interesting. So, for example, you're seeing the trailer for Doom. I've got it set silent. Maybe I'll set it low. Oh no. Whatever it was that got me the copyright strike, I don't want to do it again, right? I don't want to do it again. So I'm not going to have any sound. I'll have the trailers playing in the background, so you know what I'm talking about, and we could just chit-chat. This was Doom. This was one of the early ones. And honestly, I'm here for it. No, I will not be streaming this. No, I will not be Let's Playing this. I am not Let's Playing Doom, okay? Shield. I saw it in the intro, but it didn't actually immediately occur to me that you were going to actually be able to play with the shield. At first, I was thinking like a, I don't know, cutscene at the start, that type of thing. And then I suddenly noticed the shield was actually there in the gameplay, and I'm like, okay. Big fan of Doom, most of you know. I've played all of them. I've played every Doom game that's ever existed. Loved the reboot, absolutely adored it. Had some minor problems with the difficulty consistency in the last one, Doom Eternal, because I found it a little odd. I could play most of the game on Nightmare, but there were certain levels where I had to drop it down to whatever the one below Nightmare was. Because it was just too... I could sort of almost do it, but it was going to take me multiple attempts and hours of... And I just couldn't... So there was this weird thing. But if I left it on the slightly lower difficulty when I got back to the main part, I was absolutely pouncing on everything and, pummeling it through the ground. So it did have a sort of a difficulty spike, which was kind of weird. But other than that, loved those games. Absolutely loved and adored those games. So, the scattergun that shoots shredded skulls is metal AF. You are not wrong. You are not wrong at all. So, there's not really a lot to say about that. That is not one of the ones I'm going to be doing any content about. Unlike this one, which is Dragon Age. I've forgotten what the name is. Dragon Age something or other. The trailer was brilliant. It was funny. It was amusing. Have we just had a donation? Are my donations off? Did a Tiltify donation come up right then? I don't think it did, but did we get a Tiltify? Or am I reading that wrong? Yeah, we just had a $25 donation from Amy Amy Duncan-Cinder and Snake Doctor both gave $25. Snake Doctor added, a worthy cause and an easy donation. Looking forward to seeing Gopher playing the mod. I didn't see any alerts. My Tiltify alerts don't seem to be functioning. Or did they? Did they happen and I didn't see it? Can you guys... It's called Veilguard, this. Right, yeah. Veilguard officially killed off any interest in DA for me now. Really? I mean, the thing is it definitely feels different to Dragon Age Origins. And that's the last one I really played. I got Inquisition, and I've never played it. You didn't hear anything. Did you see anything? Did you see anything pop up? Because I do have... Do I not have Tiltify alerts? I'm pretty sure I've got... I'm trying to see what I got. I'm pretty sure I've actually got the alerts on, Tiltify alerts on. You saw it pop up on screen, but it doesn't have a sound. It doesn't have a sound, does it? Okay, that's unfortunate. I'll try and get one so that I notice them. Because that, of course, is the entire point of the charity stream. So yeah, I must play Inquisition before Veilguard. Must I? Do you think it's gonna continue on? Is that what it is? Can I get auto play? No, I don't want auto play. I want auto repeat. The art style for Dragon Age kind of put me off. The characters look weirdly... Well, I must admit, I thought when I was looking at this point, they don't look cartoony. It's odd. They don't look cartoony. But they do look like there's a slightly different art style. But more importantly, there's this sort of thing. And I quite like this. I love these sort of effects. Where you introduce a character. But I get what you mean. There's definitely a stylization to it. Right-click the loop. Right-click the loop. Yeah. Anyway. Inquisition felt more like an MMO, but without other players. I must admit, that's the feeling I got. But should I play Inquisition, or am I not going to understand this? Right-click menu has a loop option. Oh, okay, right, there you go. So it just keeps looping and looping now. Oh, that's good. Thank you. I just don't use that. So yeah, I liked the trailer. I like the way they introduced it, and I didn't mind the art style, I'll be honest. I did try Inquisition before it was released. I remember I went to Sweden and viewed it. Was it? I think it was Sweden. I think I did view that one back when I did those sort of things, when I got invited. But honestly, I found Inquisition to be too flashy in its combat. But this is a direct sequel to the last Inquisition DLC. All right, I'll have to do a blast through playthrough of Inquisition for myself. I can't play. I've got no time for a Let's Play. I got no time for a stream. So before anyone asks. Okay, we've had some more donations. I see. Mr. Q. Oh, no, that was... Oh, I missed that one. That was 11 minutes ago. $10. In love and memory of my mother who was taken too soon by this disease. Sorry to hear that, Mr. Q, and thank you for the donation. I've seen that one at the top there. All right. DAI had an epilogue DLC named Trespasser, which will be important. All right, I will try and play it. Is there a way to play it where you don't have to do all the grinding? Because I heard Inquisition had quite a bit of grindiness to it. DAI seemed more realistic in a way. Oh, God, no, I thought Dragon Age Inquisition felt very unrealistic. It was like, in this, I find like the weapons that these guys are using look far more believable. And whilst the combat is quite epic, with Dragon Age Inquisition, what I found myself noticing was a lot of the moves from the warriors just look like something out of an arcade game. Just ignore the grind parts, totally unneeded. Okay. Whereas, like, for example, in this trailer here, a lot of the weapons seem fairly... Well, I mean, they're stylish, but they don't look like anime weapons. Whereas that was the feeling I got in Dragon Age Inquisition. All right. It was grindy. Not the grindiest game you've ever played, right? Yeah, but here's the problem. I don't have a huge amount of time to play. I mean, look, I've said this before. I've got a me game, God of War, not played it. In fact, I've got a whole bunch of games installed that I want to play for myself, not managed to play it. In fact, I think I might even have Dragon Age Inquisition installed. You have to know when to stop grinding. Will it be obvious? Yeah, if a quest asks you to pick up X of 10, just ignore it. Do you not need to do them to get the... All right. But yeah, I mean, this combat is obviously not the gameplay. It was grindy because I wanted to 100% it. I get it. All right. Inquisition is not exactly a 10 to 20 hour game. Yeah, that's basically it. Anyway, so this does look interesting. I loved Dragon Age Origins. That was the last one I really played, and I played it absolutely to death. Right? I played multiple characters. So that was Dragon Age Origins, and of course, this is kind of the one. Do you think I'll get away with music for this? I mean, this music can't be. This music can't be. Starfield DLC. This actually looked very, very interesting. Looked very, very cool. And it seems to be revolving around the House Varum, which I love. Because obviously they were not really covered much in the main game. You wouldn't chance the music. Yeah, it depends on... I mean, I'm hoping this music won't be a problem, but it's probably not worth it. But I like the look of it. I do. So there's a lot to unpack here. I'm probably going to have to go through the trailer in great depth and see what I can see. I do not know how I'm going to approach this DLC. I'm probably going to wait and find out more details, like should it be a new character? Will it play well with NG+? Because honestly, I've still got my playthrough, the playthrough that's currently being uploaded actually. That's the only playthrough I've done. There are 2 factions I've not even covered. And I've done multiple NG+ playthroughs. And I say multiple, I mean a lot, like 20 plus. And so I've still got a lot of content in the base game. I've got a lot of content in the base game, but I was saving it, and I've not done it in the NG+, just in case I was going to do a return Let's Play at some point that have fresh content. But I don't think that's going to happen. Starfield is just not popular on my channel at all. So this is going to be something I probably play for myself, and I should probably experience the other 2 major factions in the game. So this is 3 whole new factions. I just don't know whether it's start a new playthrough kind of stuff, or just take your existing character. A little bit overpowered at this point, but who the hell cares? Kind of stuff. It might be, to be honest. Starfield is just bad. They should let it die. No, Nicopole, you should let it die. You don't like Starfield? Let it die, mate. Just leave it alone. Don't go near it. But they're not going to. The game was a massive commercial success. They promised a DLC. They're going to do it. They've promised the creation kit, and they're going to do it. It's going to happen. Just, stop already. You don't like the game. Everyone knows. We get it. But it's going to keep going. All right. And of course, now the creation kit has come out. A single DLC, doesn't that seem odd? It tells me that they are a little disappointed in the reception, and unless that was the intent all along, because it is possible they were going to do 1 DLC and then just leave the creations thing to take up the slack. I don't know for sure. That might be their new model, to be honest. Starfield derangement syndrome is real. Yeah, I'd rather they try to make it better. Well, they've added a load of new things as well. We actually got there's a bunch of new stuff happening in game. So, or they could do more DLCs later. Look, here's the thing. I'm quite happy if they just leave it as 1 DLC and we get more info on House of Rune, because I like Starfield, but I don't like it as much as Fallout or Elder Scrolls, and I really want those games. And unless Bethesda basically doubles its size and ends up having one team creating one IP and another team creating another IP, they just don't have the capacity to hold 3 IPs at once. They just don't. So I don't want 15 years between each Elder Scrolls game, because at this particular rate, it looks like Elder Scrolls 6 will be my last ever Elder Scrolls. Depressing thought. Well, no, I guess I'll be like going on 80 when Elder Scrolls 7 comes out. Maybe I'll still be able to play. But, so, I mean, but look, the trailer did look good. The trailer did look good. I feel like they may have done quite a lot of handcrafted stuff. At least that's what they're showing. That is what they're showing, obviously. Got some new sort of creatures. I'm wondering if they're handcrafted. It is difficult to call, though, isn't it? It is difficult to call. You'll control Test 7 with your mind at this rate. Be kind of nice. Mods can turn Starfield into the biggest RPG. I mean, look, mods are going to make a difference. Look at Fallout 4. Fallout 4 kind of died very, very quickly after release. I say died. It dropped off, and interest definitely dropped off, and everyone was criticizing it. Then they released the creation kit and the DLCs, and there was a bit more interest, and over the years, it still kept growing. Fallout 4's kept, it never quite Skyrim levels, but reasonably steady interest and player numbers. And obviously with the renewed interest of Fallout, it's absolutely killing it. It's absolutely killing it. So I'm thinking that Starfield will pick up again, not so much because of the expansion pack, the DLC, but because of the creation kit. I need to check it out and see what's possible, though. So that is going to decide how much life Starfield has long term. But contrary to what a lot of people try and pretend, Starfield is still going, and whilst it probably wasn't the hit they wanted it to be, it easily paid for itself 10 times over, I think. I mean, they got the money's worth for it. So I just wish creations weren't a thing. I don't have an actual well-formed opinion on that subject because I'm kind of with you, but at the same time, logically not. So it's like, I get it. There are some benefits I can see to this Creations program. And for those of you that don't know, Creations are actually going to be paid mods. This is not like the Creation Club, which was technically third-party DLC. This is actually going to be proper, unofficial, unsupported mods. So, and some of them can be bought. So it is paid mods now. This is it. And assuming it sticks, the paid mods have now officially arrived. I can see some of these creations being pretty incredible. I know people like King Gath and some others are working on some stuff that could be really, really good. Will it be worth me spending my money? That is going to very much depend. Snake Doctor, thank you for the £5 super chat. The irony of release Fallout 3 was BGS saying they never wanted a 10-year gap between the games ever again, and they were right. It's going to be 15. Yeah, Snake Doctor. Exactly. Verified creations are the paid mods, and creations are what mods are called in console. Right, yeah. So creations are basically mods supported on their system, and verified creations are ones you pay money for, and they have to go through some sort of verification process. So it is no, what's the word curated to some extent, but I don't think Bethesda are going to guarantee these verified creations work with every update. Am I right? Because this is the difference between mods and microtransactions, paid mods and microtransactions. Microtransactions are things that Bethesda will be officially supporting time after time after time. They will officially own it, basically. So if one of their DLCs breaks with an update, they have to fix it. Mods, they can break mods all the time, and they're not obliged to do anything. So paid mods better be extremely polished with long-term updates for the game patches. Well, I mean, that's going to depend on the teams behind them. What did we have then? What did we have? We have... Oh, wow! We have got a $100 donation from an anonymous person. For those that may have forgotten themselves but remain in our memories for every life they touched. Thank you very much for the generous donation and that beautiful thought. And Fizzy88 with a $50 donation. Thank you. I missed those two. But I think I just missed something else, didn't I? Was there a... Yeah. So anyway, look, let's forget the whole creations thing because it's going to take time to see how that one plays out. I'm not sure at the moment. I am against the concept of microtransactions. I don't like microtransactions. I don't like these small DLCs. To my mind, companies like Bethesda should be creating Far Harbor, Dragonborn, that sort of sized DLC, Shattered Space sort of DLC. With creations, I'd like to see something that's maybe more towards that direction than a single sword kind of thing. I'm against microtransactions basically on principle at this point. And I do worry about paid mods becoming basically microtransactions. That's my big problem. But when people like King Gath come up with projects, let's say like Sim Settlements, for those of you who've not played Sim Settlements 2, honestly, I'm not sure what I would pay for that, but I would definitely be treating that like it was some sort of fairly major DLC from Bethesda if they'd released it. It's that big. Those of you who've no idea what Sim Settlement 2 is, it doesn't just overhaul the settlements and make them way more fun to engage with. I should have done a video on this a long time ago. What Sim Settlements at its core started doing was making it possible for you to get the settlers involved in making the settlements themselves. And thus the settlements would grow without you having to do absolutely everything. But you would do a lot of other things. So for example, I probably spent hundreds of hours building a Red Rocket settlement. It was amazing. I hope I've still got the save actually and I can reconstruct that load order because I'd like to export it. I loved it. It was amazing. I built so much. But I also used the plots and it made these living spaces and these workshops and these bars that were created look so realistic and subtly different, like they were made by different people, which is kind of what would happen. And it's really, really good. But it also adds loads of NPCs that come and visit your settlement. So you'll build a bar and you'll go into your settlements and there'll be random travelers and traders who are visiting, playing a slot machine or drinking at the bar, which just make it feel so much real. But it also adds loads, and I do mean loads, of voiced NPCs with tons of quests. There is an actual main quest with Sim Settlements 2 that goes through 3 chapters. It's absolutely brilliant. It's really well done. It ties the whole settlement system into itself, so there's a reason for engaging with it. And it's kind of like you can almost take over the wasteland, the Commonwealth, and rebuild it through these quests. It's phenomenally well done. And there's also a ton of side quests and new little factions. Like police, you can set up little police stations now. And so on. It's really, really good. That's the sort of thing I would look at and go, you know what, that I'd pay for. So yeah, the Starfield Creations page is live. Give me a second. Terror. Okay, let's do this. Bethesda Starfield Creations. Let's have a look. Creation kit drops for Starfield. That's nice. Where's the official Bethesda page for this? Starfield official website. I'm trying to find it now. Okay. Oh, God, I'll let you guys see. Starfield Creations are here. Get Creations. Let's see what they've got. Oh, my God, the lack of dark mode. So we've already got a bunch of 54 creations. Are these just people uploading their mods? The ones they've got out already? Because these, wow, 54 have been uploaded already. I am going to have to take a long, hard look at this. Advanced shipbuilding. Okay, clicking on that. Add to library. Does it cost anything? Doesn't cost anything. So these are free. Top right corner of Starfield page, get creations button. But I'm already here, right? I'm already here. This is it. And I think this is a mod that already exists on Nexus. There's no way anyone got this made in this amount of time. Unless, of course, there were a lot of creators who got early access. So I need to check these things out, don't I? Any way to get full screen? Well, yeah, but I mean, Not totally sure how much better that is. So, yeah, last update June the 1st. Ah, they've been uploading these. Yeah, so these are guys that had early access to it. All right. So what does this let you do? I'm seriously going to have to spend a lot of time doing this. The biggest problem I'm going to have with these is the fact that it's going to bypass your mod manager. Very much against that. Very much against that. But it looks free. So I'm guessing they've got a lot of creations set up that are free to start with anyway, because otherwise it would be a bit of a pain in the backside when it comes to the response. So, yeah, look at this. Look at this, all the critical reviews. It got really well reviewed. It got really well reviewed and sold a lot. A lot of people talk about it like, oh, Starfield, it was a total disaster. Starfield was, by any metric that a company cares about, a bloody huge success. Having said that, I totally understand the criticisms of it. All right, yeah. So, gonna have to give that a look-see, aren't we? Right, we're gonna have to give that a look-see. I think I'll need more time before I can give you any really good feedback on this. I'm going to need to see what the mods are like. I'm going to have to see how hard it is to install using the new system. Was there a $2 for a pistol? See, this is where I start to get... This is microtransactions, yeah. Riz, thank you for the £10 super chat. I enjoyed my 326 hours in Starfield. I was careful to avoid any spoilers for any trailers and had set my expectations really low, and we had the same essential HUD mods since the first release days. Yeah, I actually quite like... There's a HUD mod that was like almost like an immersive HUD. 2.2 or something? No, is it 0.22 or something? Missed another donation by Killer Koalas. $25 donation. Thank you very much, Killer Koalas. Look at this. We're already halfway to the new goal. So, the only thing I wish Starfield did better was space to planet transitions. Well, yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff I would wish Starfield did better, but I'm going to check out the mods. Here's what I won't be doing, though. I just can't see myself spending like money on a pistol or something. I don't like microtransactions. I'm just not a fan of them. I think the value proposition just is so off when compared to the basic game. It's just so off. But there you go. Do you think it would be viable for Bethesda to make their own manager for its game? Nope. Because it would be crap. I mean, it would be crap, but it wouldn't be good enough, and we'd all constantly demand more. And I mean, look at Vortex. There's a hardcore collection of people who call Vortex the worst thing since sliced bread, right? Can you imagine if Bethesda made something? But yeah. I know some bloke out there is going to make a Skyrim world on Starfield. That would be hilarious. Wouldn't it be hilarious if somebody actually managed to recreate the entire land of Skyrim and had all the quests and everything there, and you land on the planet and realize Skyrim is actually a planet in this universe, and its time zone is it's set at the same time? That would be hilarious. Don't see it happening though. If microtransactions were actually micro, I wouldn't mind them as much. I think that's a really good way of looking at it. Like a single weapon is a very, very tiny microscopic part of an entire game, right? But the actual prices for these things are often not micro. In fact, they're not even, what's the word when it's, well, I mean, I can't remember. Centi? Sometimes they're like, 5% of the cost of the full game sometimes. And you think, yeah, okay. So I buy 20 of these and I've doubled the price of the game. You know what I'm, that's why I don't like microtransactions. So yeah. Mini, yes. They're not even mini though. So it's that's my big problem with microtransactions. Well, that and the incentive structure it sets up. It sets up an incentive structure for the company to not make expansion packs, but rather to rely on microtransactions. Because they can, I mean, think like the example I always give is Far Harbor. Look at all the number of new weapons in Far Harbor, the number of new pieces of armor, the number of new creatures, the number of, new models required. Once you've added it up, you've got tens of thousands of new things, including voice acting, quests, a landmass, so much. And it'll make $20, $25, and they can make that by selling 5 or 6 suits of armor. The incentive structure is falling apart for the developers, in my opinion. That's why I don't like it. Yeah. Anyway, my understanding was the creators price the creations. Oh, I'm totally guessing they will. And I honestly don't think it's going to be the disaster people think. I think some people will engage with the creations and buy them. But I'm going to go out on a limb here and say very often it won't be because they actually say someone buys a $2 weapon from a mod maker. It'll be someone who's probably used mods made by that mod maker in 4 or 5 other games or something. Like, be someone like Millennium who's created God knows how many weapons, and we've used maybe hundreds of them over the games, and suddenly they release a weapon for $2, and we think, you know what? I'm going to give you $2, almost like a donation for everything else you've done. I could imagine that happening. I could definitely imagine that happening. So, Starfield creation credits are on Steam. Woohoo! Oh, so we're probably going to be buying them through Steam rather than through Bethesda's interface. Okay, that's... Oh, no. We actually... Do we buy them in-game? I'm going to have to boot up the game and check the new interface, aren't I? If you like it, buy it. If you don't, lol. Yeah, that's not the discussion, though. That's not the discussion. That's, that's obviously, that's true for everything. But that's not the discussion here. Yeah. Doesn't really matter if we like them or not. They're here to stay. They're here to stay as long as they are successful. And they will be successful depending on how the general population reacts to them and engages with them, not how we vocal few minority react to them. That's just, there you go. You also see Artmore uploaded an unofficial patch. He's not charging for it, is he? I doubt Bethesda would let Steam take 30%. Ooh, yeah. I'm curious about that too. Yeah. Is the unofficial patch... It's not a paid creation, is it? Anyway, we're going to see. We've now got the creation kit. We've got creations. Starfield had an update, so we'll get to see what they've added with that. And when did they announce Shattered Space? Isn't it September or something? We'll get to see that. You will probably not see it on my channel because Starfield, like Cyberpunk, is not popular. Mind you, I say that, it's very possible that those games are no more or less popular than other games I play. It's just my channel is losing views, which it has been doing for many, many years. So I do not know, but I doubt I will be uploading any playthroughs of Starfield again, at least not in the near future. So yeah, I will be uploading my Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty playthrough, even though Cyberpunk isn't popular either. So that will be coming pretty soon. Let's Plays as a whole are not popular. Right, I mean, I need to get into the shorts business, don't I? That's what I need to do. I'm just getting old. People are bored of me. All right, let's see what else there was. There was South of Midnight. Wait, that's not one I was interested in, was it? Oh, yeah, right. South of Midnight. This is this weird-looking game that looked phenomenal, but that's like really low frame rate. And people are saying it's because they want it to look like claymation or something. A I love the art style. I loved the trailer, except I can't play this. I could barely watch the trailer. I mean, it's not even like people were saying, oh, it looks 25 frames a second. No, it looks like 7 frames a second, maybe even at times less, like 3 or 4 frames a second. It looks really not good. So it's just the cutscenes. Right, well, it wasn't just the cutscenes, though. We saw some gameplay footage. I can't remember where it was. Here. And the gameplay footage looked nice, but every now and again, you'd see an animation of something in the background. All right, there's the cutscene again. No, it was maybe further on. And you'd see the thing move. Like this is the cutscene again, I guess. But it looked interesting. It looked interesting. Nice idea and everything. But it also looks like, there, look at the animations on the thing, the boar over there. I noticed it's doing that. This is why you look at this and it's, no, this looks like 25 frames a second, but that looks like 6 frames a second. The birds look very, very low frame rate compared to everything else. So, but the game itself looks interesting. But I've noticed there's a lot of games like this, kind of narrative-driven action games. So this one's going to be fighting a whole heap of games that seem to be sort of like this. And honestly, I have too many games to play. I mean, I can't even be looking at this. I'm sorry. The whole thing looked interesting, but the choppy thing just looked, it does my head in. I'm sorry. Frame rate snob, call me what you like. No. Sorry. Nice idea. Then there was Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn. This looked really interesting. It did. It looked really interesting. I couldn't quite put my finger on it. But again, it's got, I'm not going to say Souls-like games because everyone says that and it usually inappropriately. But you know what I mean? It has this whole, everything's really about the combat and there's going to be some big bosses as well as some small fights. The combat does not look Souls-like at all. But it does look interesting. But again, it's got that whole action game feel to it. So, for example, like I've still got God of War installed on my system and I am going to be playing that. But this reminds me of what I think that's going to be like. Can you believe I've still not played that game? I don't have time to play games. So yeah, I mean, and I like the style. I just don't think I'm going to have time to play games like this. And this is definitely a me game. This is definitely not a game that I would put on the channel, really. I don't think. Mind you, I said that about Horizon Zero Dawn, didn't I? And I was kind of wrong about that. All right, next one that we saw. Perfect Dark. This was the one that was like sci-fi meets Dishonored, right? I think it was. Yeah, she jumped out with a, I'm going to call it a wingsuit, but not really. It's not really. It's obviously a wingsuit made by someone who doesn't actually understand what wingsuits are. And she's also got jet assists because, yeah, you can't land with a wingsuit. Yeah, this game gives you Deus Ex vibes. It does give me Deus Ex vibes, except without the whole transhuman aspect of it. I don't think it's got augmentations and cybernetics and things, although I might be wrong. So it feels like there was a game I played called Alpha Protocol, which was a spy game, which I really liked. This feels more like a sort of high-tech version of that mixed with Dishonored. Maybe more Prey-ish, but set in a completely different environment and with a completely different sort of character. It's very secret agenty. So it feels like something where you're playing a secret agent, Alpha Protocol. Or maybe like a hit person, like Hitman, but not really. but it's got a very much Dishonored vibe in the gameplay, which I really did like. There's also something about the heads-up display that made me think that. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But yeah, the whole parkour, wall running, that sort of thing, definitely giving me Dishonored vibe. So I'm here for this. Again, I don't think this is going to be one of the ones that has me playing a Let's Play. I don't know for sure. I think it's going to be more of an option, though. But again, will I have time to play it? Almost no chance. But this is one I definitely would like to play. Like, definitely like to play. This game is going to be super divisive among existing fans of the series. Is it a series? Is it a series? Okay, what's the other game in this series that I should look for? What was the first game in this series? You'd watch it if I did it on the channel. Right. I mean, but when am I going to get a chance? I've definitely got to finish the Cyberpunk. I got to upload Phantom Liberty. I'm not going to do any more Starfield. But I've got to do Fallout London, and there are still people wanting a bunch of other stuff. I've got Stalker 2 coming this year. So I reckon we're going to have Stalker 2 and Phantom Liberty for the rest of this year. Perfect Dark. Oh, is it a remake? Is it a remake? It's a reboot of an old game. Oh, so I don't need to play it. I don't need to play anything. All right. But would I play this 1000%? Will I let's play it? It's very much going to depend on finding a spot in the timetable, which is almost certainly not going to happen. How about God of War? I'm going to play that. I'm not going to let's play it. That's the sort of game like Horizon Zero Dawn I could have imagined doing a stream of, but I did that, and then I was committed to it and didn't have a me game. I do need some games where I play for myself. So God of War, I'm going to play for myself. Kingdom Come Deliverance is coming out this year as well. I mean, that's a must-have. I mean, guys, there's just too many for me to play. Sorry, it's just I can't, unfortunately. It's just not a possibility, which is a shame. I'd like to do more things, because we're going to get to even more games that fall into this category. And this is a classic example. Just quit sleeping. Pretty much did that for half a year. This one is Fable. I have never played a Fable game. How weird is that? Never played a Fable game. I own 3 Fable games. I keep getting these games on like really cheap, or people gift them to me. I own 3, never played one. Too many good games to play, suffering from success. Yeah, and yet people will tell me that gaming is dead. Gaming is in a terrible place. People will tell me gaming is like, you know, on its last legs. And yet I don't know what people are doing. How are you so miserable about gaming? I'm like, there's too many things I want to play. Erencial, $2 super chat. Thank you very much. Did you hear of Heart of the Machine? That rings a bell. Can't remember why. Indie scene is booming. Yeah, but so are so many others. I mean, this looks good. And this isn't an indie developer, is it? Fable? The Xbox showcase was definitely the best. Yeah, I mean, I love this trailer. I thought the trailer was really, really well done. Fable is a game that you have fans who like the first game of the franchise and fans who like their later entries. It's not bad. I'd classify it as RPG light myself. Could you give me a comparison of something I might have played? Because it also kind of, whilst I liked the trailer, it did look like this, very actiony. It's also going to be a third-person game. I think that's the thing. I'm gonna admit, whenever I see a third-person RPG, I always assume there's going to be more action than other stuff. Kingdoms of Amalur, not played that. It's very choice-driven. So it's choice-driven, though. I mean, it's like Hogwarts, if you've ever played that. Okay, well, I've played Hogwarts. Hogwarts is one of those games, loads of atmosphere, loved the aesthetics, got very, very repetitive. Is it going to be... Mind you, the game's combat here... Mind you, the Hogwarts combat wasn't terrible. It's just the game's content got... It was a bit too Ubisofted. Is Fable going to Ubisofty it? Wait, is it female protagonist only? No idea. Never played the game. Might be. I played Fable 1, 2, and 3. I'm on the fence. I'd like gender choice. This one feels gender locked. Look, I mean, you know me. As a general rule, I'll play males in my games, especially when I'm let's playing it, because it's easier for you to relate that person to my voice. I can't believe anyone really relates my voice to my current V. But at the same time, plenty of games have a main character that's made for you, so... But again, what I saw of the gameplay made me think it could be quite action-oriented. But again, they tend to do that in these trailers, don't they? They don't show you a bunch of dialogue and stuff like that. They don't show you a bunch of crafting, which makes sense. Then there's this... Oh no, I've already done that one. Flintlock thing. Yeah, already done that one. This I'm here for. Now, again, I think this is going to be one of those story-driven action games. I can't imagine this as an RPG. But, you know, I mean, I was like a kid when the Indiana Jones movies came out. Well, teenager, I think. So much nostalgia. So much. I want to hear. I love this. I mean, I love machine games. I loved, oh my God. I loved Wolfenstein, the reboot. Absolutely adored it. Loved the gameplay in those games. I even liked the multiplayer one with the twins. Although I got bored of it after about 20 hours. I enjoyed the gameplay in that, playing with someone else. So I love the gameplay that machine games do. And the atmosphere in this just felt so good. Cyber Turkey, thank you for the £10 super chat. Just wanted to give some money and I should be able to give more soon. Well, thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. I definitely do appreciate the support now more than ever. I don't want to talk about that too much on a charity weekend anyway, but yes, I do appreciate the people who make this channel possible. Make it possible for me to do this. But this whole trailer was one of the most Indiana Jones things I'd ever seen. The way they did the fights, the whole... The comedy in it, the whole thing. They seem to capture the movie really, really well. And again, it's not a big surprise because, of course, machine games have done games where you fight Nazis. So, hey, they're back at it. So this is, again, will I get a chance to do a let's play of this? I doubt it, but I want to. This is one of those games I want to do. Like, really, really want to do. But again, it's whether or not this will be a good match for a let's play. Now, it's first person, which is always good for me. But, you know, is it going to be too linear, too very much... To Wolfenstein. I couldn't have made Wolfenstein a Let's Play, so why should I be able to make this a Let's Play? It's one of those games where you play through and it'll be more or less the same as my playthrough. Mind you, you could say the same was true of Metro. I don't know. It's Troy... Yeah, the voice actor was Troy Baker. But he's very obviously trying to do Harrison Ford, and he did a pretty good job. I'll be honest, I'll probably watch most anything you do. Well, thank you, Eagle Fort. You have to do a Let's Play of this. Look, the problem is, isn't this one coming out as well this year? My issue with the Indiana Jones footage is it's all cinematic. Why can't I play this fight? Well, I'm guessing it's the intro cinematic. I'm guessing this is how the game starts. I'm guessing this is how the game starts. Or there will be a cutscene like this at some point. And they just wanted to get the whole Raiders of the Lost Ark humor in there. I heard it's bait and switch. I'll wait for the 100% review to ensure the source is... Oh, yeah, like, and here's the other thing. I am not going to start planning my Let's Plays of games like this until I see how well they're received as well. You know, I made that mistake with Starfield. You know, probably what I should do now is do my old thing, which was just play old games. Things like Stalker 2, though, I feel like I gotta play. And the same with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. But I might give both those games a little time to get some patches and maybe some mods with Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Welcome, minion.
Who's that? Questo X! Resub, 20 months. That's over on Twitch. Thank you very much. So yeah, I mean, like, with Kingdom Come Deliverance, my Let's Play came out months after the game. And I'm glad, because there were a bunch of mods that fixed a bunch of stuff. Head Bob mod. Yes. Save Snaps mod. So yeah. But look at this! This is so Wolfenstein. But look, I loved this. Whipping people. They captured the whole feel of it really well. The music, the voice acting, the style. Let's hope the game doesn't bomb, because honestly... But again, I don't think this is going to be one of those games where I do lots of dialogue choice and so on and so forth. It's going to be one of those games where my playthrough is the same as your playthrough. There might be some key choices, but my playthrough will be the same as someone else who made those key choices or something playthroughs. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be like a Skyrim where pretty much the playthrough is about how I interact with the world. It's going to be very much about the game itself.
Welcome, minion.
So we'll just have to... Who is that? Monster Herbie! New minion. Oh no, it's a resub. 4 months. Welcome. All right, let's go. What was next? Right, up next we had Avowed. This is one that I just have not managed to get into the hype for. Everyone keeps raving about it. And I liked that shot. I don't know. People keep talking about it like it's the future of RPG. But honestly, everything they've shown so far makes it look more like an action game. Just basically like the ones we've been looking at. Like maybe like Fable. Maybe like Indiana Jones, only third person. I don't know. I don't know if what this game's category is going to be. It's going to be as good as Outer Worlds. Look, I liked Outer Worlds, but what Outer Worlds suffered from was not something I see here. It's supposed to be from Obsidian. I think it was, wasn't it? It was supposed to be like Skyrim, but was massively scaled back. See, this is the thing. That's what I was hearing. It was going to be, it's going to be the next RPG like Skyrim sort of thing. This is what I was hearing originally. Only all I ever see from it are these massive combat scenes, which is, I mean, they look really impressive. They do look really impressive, don't get me wrong. But what I don't see is like any other of the trappings you get. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to wait and see. You sure I'll love it? I might love it as a me game. I just don't know if this is going to be a stream game or a let's play game. I doubt it, to be honest. Does it look like it looked like there was first person gameplay though? So I think we're going to need to see more gameplay. Did I ever play Pillars of Eternity? No, I installed it on my system as a me game. Still there. No one knows anything definitive about it. Exactly. There are no me games, there are only us games. Well, in which case it's not a game for me then, because I don't have time. People are just assuming because Obsidian. That's what I think. A lot of the things I hear about games that come from devs like this, like I hear loads of people talking about what the game's going to be, and I never see any hint of it from the developers. This happened to a lot of games, though. I mean, go back. We can name a bunch of games where people say, oh, such and such was promised, and then you find out, no, such and such was talked about by the player base who hoped. Who's Mark J donating $60, waiting for a mod playthrough later. Oh, do you think maybe it'll be a moddable game and I can mod it and play it later? I might. We've also got a super chat from River Song, $20. Thank you very much. I enjoyed your Let's Play of Starfield. I don't play video games myself, as I was in my 20s when Pac-Man was introduced. And you are the only gamer I follow. Love to watch most games you play except horror. Oh, well, thank you very much. How old was I when Pac-Man came out? I think I was a teenager. Which dates you a little, doesn't it? Sorry, that was probably rude, considering you were just so generous. Kind of rude to myself, though. Trent Vickers, $5 super chat. Just going to point out, Vault 101 was in the Fallout 76 trailer. Maybe that's next in 2025? Oh, you think they're going to have a Vault 101 update for Fallout 76? Possibly. I don't really play that game much, though, unfortunately. So, Starfield update on Xbox is 19 gigs. Oh, right, yeah. I'm going to have to wait for the update to come out and then Starfield script extender. Yeah. Will Gopher play Fable? I might. Will I stream it or let's play it? Don't know. But yeah, so with Avowed, again, we're going to have to put it in the same category of, I just don't know what I'm looking at. And it might be a me game. I should play some of these me games. It's just every time I get some spare time, I end up doing something like I've just done all week. Well, I didn't even do this in spare time. I've been doing this in spare time and work time. Creating a save file for Fallout 4 that I can use. I will talk about that a little later. I am actually going to make multiple copies of this save game in its completely vanilla state. And so I never have to do this again. Riz! Regarding some playthrough comments, I enjoyed the Forgotten City Let's Play. Oh, I love that game. And even bought the game to support the developer, yet I couldn't really get into it. Still zero regrets. Well, I'm glad you bought the game. That supported them. And thank you for the £10 super chat, Riz. Okay. We just had another donation. $10 from Rocinante. For the End Alzheimer's campaign. Thank you very much. What happened to the showcase VOD? I've had to set it to remove some copyright things. It's being edited, basically. And I've got to see if it can get edited to remove... Oh, no. It's... cannot be... Right, I'm going to have to remove the audio for certain periods. Or trim the sections. I've got copyright strikes in 3 bloody places. I tried muting the song only. It didn't work. So I'm going to have to try again, unfortunately. So... yeah. It kind of sucks when that sort of thing happens, but... So trying to remove the song didn't work. So now I'm going to try and just remove all of the audio during that period. Mute all sound when the song plays. All right, that is going to suck because it's going to have big gaps. Oh, maybe I should have actually just removed the entire bits of videos. Yeah. Sucks, that does. Anyway, so... You're also, right, as someone who intensively interested in Avowed because it's in the Pillars universe, I'm also kind of leery because it's a hard departure from the game style of Pillars. Wasn't that an isometric turn-based sort of game? Dragon Age has me so disappointed. I think we're going to need to see gameplay trailers for all of these games, to be honest. I think we're going to have to. Which is always a good idea anyway. And you're not going to be pre-ordering them anyway, right? So, next up, a game that definitely caught my interest. For reasons that will become immediately obvious if you did not join me during the showcase. This was immediately, obviously, the English countryside, or British. I mean, it could be various places, actually. But, and then it went sort of a little apocalyptic and also weirdly, I'm not going to say steampunk, but you know what I'm saying? Like a bit odd. Somebody else said it was like a futuristic. What did someone say it was? It was something like Stalker meets Dad's Army or something. It actually has a weird kind of vibe to it that I like. It does kind of. If Britain had Stalker, I don't know for sure though. And post-apocalyptic Dad's Army, that's what they said, yeah. Very difficult to know for sure. Very difficult to know for sure what to make of this. It looked like British Fallout. Maybe, but it's coming in 2025, Atomfall. So maybe it's a British Fallout. Maybe we're going to have lots of British Fallout very soon. That would be kind of cool. Oh dear. But yeah, the look of the Lake District. Exactly. That's where I was thinking of. Those of you who've never been to Britain, it's an area. It's the Pennines it's called? It's good God, you can tell how long I've been since I was there. I've actually done a fair amount of hiking and I would call it mountain climbing. It's mountain walking. Once went up Swirl's Edge at on I think it was Midsummer's Night, and I went up in training shoes that fell apart. I was young and stupid. But yeah, Spawn Freak, $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Gopher, according to respected Rockstar leakers, a PC release of Red Dead Redemption 1 is coming. Would a Let's Play from you be possible? It might. But timing. Yeah. Timing. But yeah, so I don't know. Will I get a chance to play any of these? What is this gonna be? It was hard to place what this was gonna be, right? Is it going to be a kind of... Because, I don't know what you would classify Stalker as. It's kind of an action open world sort of ish game. But I wouldn't call it an action game, really. A post-apocalyptic survival game? It's not really a survival game either. This is sort of... It gives me vibes of that. I couldn't quite place it. Thank you for the resub. Alarid Cons. So yeah, another immersive sim. I don't know. I mean, just look at it. Look at it. Hitting the guy with a top hat, with a cricket bat, and then this guy, robot. It's just, I just can't. I've no idea what this is. Hey, for all I know, someone else did say this. Could be The Forest set in Britain. I mean, it could be, couldn't it? It could be a survival game. Who knows? Definitely piqued my interest. Okay, so what was next? Stalker is an immersive like. It is, but, you can use that word on so many different things. And that's a good segue to Stalker 2. Now, this immediately just, they captured the Stalker mood with this scene straight away, right? I mean, they just do. Oh, I tell you what, though. It's Russian with English subtitles. Is that how the game's going to be? Or are they going to have voice acting for different places? I'm going to guess that would actually be very, very hard for them, given their circumstances. And as far as I remember, Stalker only had some English voice acting in certain places. Is it Ukrainian? Sorry, Ukrainian is a different language to Russian. Is it? Is it a different language? My apologies. My apologies if it's a different language. Sorry. All right. Okay. Look at me being completely ignorant. I knew it was set in the Ukraine, but I only learnt that a year or so ago, to be honest. Just, my geography's not brilliant, especially, it's improved over the years. My geography has improved over the years. Bit of a touchy subject. Yeah, I can imagine, and I do apologize for that. Did not mean to bring that up. Right, yeah. So, Ukrainian is to Russian as Portuguese is to Spanish. Really? Because Portuguese and Spanish are like radically different. Okay. Oh, you know what? I am so sorry for my ignorance. Really, very sorry for my ignorance. It's set in the Ukraine and made by a Ukrainian developer. Yeah, I kind of know that now. And not to get too political, the reason I know of places like Chernobyl is from the Soviet era. And, you know, I mean, growing up, the difference between Soviet, the USSR and Russia was a little blurry to us. We're pretty bad in that respect. I do know a lot more about the different places and the history now in my older years, but I'd never actually made the transition in my head of realizing that Chernobyl was in Ukraine. So, as a Spanish speaker, Portuguese is extremely similar. Is it? It sounds very different to me. Portuguese actually sounds more like a Slavic language to me. It's odd. 3 more people donated towards the goal. Excellent. Go find these people and thank them. So yeah, so anyway, I'm just gonna mute this now. Right, we've had Passe, $10 donation to end Alzheimer's. Old Worm, another $10. Sorry for thinking you were Scouse. You do not have to apologize for thinking I'm Scouse. I lived in Liverpool for 10 years. Or was it 9? And my accent has picked up the odd occasional Liverpudlian lilt. A tendency to roll my R's, for example. Slightly more sing-song at times. And living in Norway has emphasised that because they do the same. And I absolutely adore Liverpool. No offence to Mancunians. I love Liverpool and I love Liverpudlians. Had I not moved, I would have probably lived there for the rest of my life. Adored Liverpool. Just so many fond memories. And then Rebel Scum, $25 donation to end Alzheimer's. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, so, right. Does anyone know for sure, though? Is it going to be Ukrainian with subtitles in whatever language, or are they going to get voice acting for all? Because I don't know how I feel about either option. The original was, of course, Ukrainian, but it did have some English. There were some English voice translations. The Trader, for example, pretty sure. And I always have mixed feelings on this, because if you play a game like this with the original language, it makes the game feel more foreign. Yeah. It makes the game feel more foreign. However, as I pointed out in my Metro playthrough, if you're a Ukrainian living in Ukraine, the language won't sound foreign to you. It will sound to you the way Mancunian accents sound to me. And more importantly, when someone talks to you or something comes over the radio, you don't need to look down and read something to understand it. So to really immerse yourself in a game, You actually need to listen to it in your own language.
Welcome,
Playing
minion.
Stalker games with English dub felt weird. I can imagine it does, but again, it's the whole thing, isn't it? For the game to feel truly immersive, if you are a local, you should be hearing the language spoken. And in actual fact, it should probably sound like your local dialect. I think a happy medium for this is if they get English actors, actors who do the voice acting in English for me, but with heavy Ukrainian accents, so it still feels Ukrainian, but I don't have to concentrate to understand them, if that makes sense. You find English dialogue with foreign accents a little game-breaking. I don't know about game-breaking, but I know what you mean. You can watch a foreign movie and still be engaged by subs, no? Well, look, I can read subtitles, but it does mean that I'm not looking at the screen and I might miss things. You know, when something's happening, I'm having to read the subtitles and I'm not looking at their faces. I'm missing all the expressions. Or if there's action going on, I might miss the action. So, yeah. So this is why when I played, what was it called? Something Tokyo. That game I played. There was a game set in Tokyo with lots of spirits and things, and it was weird. When I played it with the Japanese subtitles, I couldn't listen and play at the same time. So I ended up not listening, which means I get all the atmosphere, but none of the actual background sound. The same is true with Metro. If I tried to play Metro with Russian, I pretty much ignore everything everyone's saying because I'm fighting. So, you know, Ghostwire Tokyo, that was what it was, yeah. So it's kind of like... Normally agree, but I always play Sekiro with subs. Now, Sekiro, I think I played Sekiro with original Japanese. I can't remember, actually. Someone will have to correct me because I live streamed a little bit of that. But honestly, that was a game where I didn't really care what they were saying. So, you know what I'm saying? That's another murder simulator. But with a game like this, like, for example, what he's saying now, I want to look him in the face and be able to hear him. I don't want to have to keep looking down. Do you know what I mean? Like, now I'm looking and I'm reading the subtitles. I'm not looking at what it wants me to look at. And that's jarring. So I would kind of like English voice acting. But honestly, I'd prefer it if they could find people who could do Ukrainian accents. Because at least then it feels Ukrainian to me. To a Ukrainian, it's probably going to sound awful. But to me, it'll give the vibe. But I'm going to play it regardless of what comes up.
Welcome.
So yeah, Riz, new member. Welcome. Anyway, so this is a game I'm going to play. I loved... Shadow of Chernobyl, it was called, wasn't it? Shadow of Chernobyl. This is Heart of Chernobyl. Where does this fit in the series? Because I've played Shadow of Chernobyl and I played... oh my God. The one I couldn't finish. God, I can't believe I forgot the name. I'm blanking on it. I can remember Call of Pripyat. I couldn't play that because of the stutters. Clear Sky, was it? Was it called Clear Sky? Clear Skies. It was Clear Skies. Yes, Clear Skies. I played that, but because I played it wrong, I couldn't finish it. I got to the sort of point of no return and I wasn't powerful enough to finish it. Call of Pripyat, I tried to play, but I couldn't get rid of the stutters. So yeah, unfortunate that, because everyone rates that one. But I loved Shadow of Chernobyl, absolutely. I've only done one playthrough of it, did it on master difficulty, with a lot of the hardcore Stalker people telling me off. And they did. When people first came to my Stalker playthroughs, there was a little bit of, shall we say, toxicity going on. Oh my God, people like you shouldn't be playing master difficulty. Oh my God, you know, kind of thing. And it carried on in Clear Skies as well. But I did. I played it on master difficulty, and honestly, I stand by that decision. I loved my playthrough of Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl. So yeah, but there you go. Right, so, and then what did we have after that? We didn't have much after that. Oh, we actually had nothing else of interest. However, I absolutely know that people are going to want me to weigh in on this. Oh, it's muted. I don't know whether the... This is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I probably shouldn't risk the copyright strike again, should I? This is an absolute. There is a no question. I will play through this and I will let's play it unless it is a catastrophic disaster. You know, like if the game comes out and it is a catastrophic disaster, obviously then I won't. But if it's just as good as the first one, I'm going to play it. I will probably wait for a couple of mods because the head bobbing was too much for me. I only played with a few mods. I played with a mod that removed head bobbing or reduced it. I played with a mod that let you save whenever you wanted rather than using save snaps because I hated save snaps. Not because it made the game more difficult. It didn't. Not at all, actually. I don't even understand that argument because save snaps are dead easy to make. Like, tons of them if you go down the alchemy route, and you're going to go down the alchemy route. It just made it really gamey. I can't, the entire concept of, you know, oh, it's been a while since I've, you know, like if I've done a bunch of shopping and then, oh, I'm going to drink some savior schnapps because I don't want to have to go through all that crap again kind of thing. It was just like, well, just the whole thing bugs me. And the fact that it had a floppy disk symbol on the actual bottle was just almost like kicking me in the testes. However, so I'll be waiting for that to happen, probably. I could probably play with the Savior Schnapps, but I would have to really resist the urge to mock every time I took one. It's just, every time I take one, I'd be like, right, I better make sure Gopher doesn't have to go through all this crap again. Which is what you're doing. That's going to be a breaking of the fourth wall will occur, is what I'm saying. Breaking of the fourth wall will occur. If I have to break the fourth wall whilst making a let's play, you're going to suffer the fourth wall as well. They might change it. We'll have to see. The other thing mod I added was one that removed the background on certain UI elements. A lot of people thought I used a mod to get rid of HUD elements. I didn't. The mod I used actually just got rid of things like the backgrounds on the compass and on the health and stamina. It didn't actually get rid of those things. Those things were removed because I played on hardcore mode. I think I read something about them not having a hardcore mode on this. Am I going to play a new character or the same one for the first one? Do you think we can bring our characters across? And if so, I will have to try and find out if I've still got that character. I mean, to be honest, though, I don't think it matters if I use this, the original character or one of my later characters, because frankly, I mean, the choices I made, I'm pretty sure are all... There's no save importing. All right, that's you know what, you start anew. I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that. Because honestly, when it comes down to it, whilst you can play Kingdom Come Deliverance a number of ways, even though the last playthrough I didn't start the main quest until I was like level 15 or something. I'd pretty much become reasonably rich, maxed a load of skills. You know, I'd done the whole thieving side of things, but then you end up doing the other stuff anyway. So even that save is pretty much the same as the other one. It's just I did a load of thieving to start off with. So yeah. And I don't mind. I still have a piece of paper in the middle of the TV screen to help with aim. You didn't. I just got quite good at aiming without it, actually. Just took a while. Wonder how they'll handle Henry starting off not knowing how to fight. My guess is you won't have to go through all the fighting again. You won't have to go through learning to block. You'll probably be able to do those things. Maybe there'll be a refresher course, you know what I mean, during the tutorial phase. But my guess is that will all be done. You'll know how to use the bow. And what they'll probably do is make you much more competent than you were at the start of the first game and able to do all of these things, but you'll still be level 1. But it'll be like level 1 knight. Whereas before you were like a level 1 blacksmith commoner, and then you slowly got to level 20 and became a knight kind of thing. Now maybe it's like you're now a level 1 knight. You'll have all those skills, but there'll be a ton more things to do. So obviously you'll be facing opponents who are so much better than you. That's what I'm guessing they'll do. That's what I'm guessing they'll do. But they might not. They might not. They might, I don't know, maybe you take a head. Gonna give him amnesia or something. It's possible, I guess, but I doubt it. So yeah, anyway, point is, I loved Kingdom Come Deliverance. Have they changed Henry a little bit? He looks a little better, actually. Difficult to know. I still can't believe when I saw that first teaser and I saw the actual actor for Henry riding in on horseback. I thought that was the in-game thing because I didn't realize the voice actor was also the body actor, as it were. That they actually got him doing, they actually based Henry on how he looks. I didn't know that. I'm like, wow, the graphics are good in this one. Oh, I don't care how they do it, to be honest. Even if they do reset it and I have to relearn everything from scratch, I'll get over it. I'll get over it. My guess is the basics will still be there. I don't know. It would be a weird one, but I will get over it and I will play. So many, they made Henry in real life memes. Absolutely. Who knew? Really? I mean, like, I'm a fan of the game, but I had no idea. So, but yeah, the official game reveal. That's the guy right there. So yeah. Even if I fix the head bob, didn't fancy the combat. Oh, FK, I totally get that. That combat was not for everyone. Not at all. Definitely not. It was tough. But you know what? There was something about that combat that I really, really did feel a sense of accomplishment once I did know how to fight. Once I got... And it's the thing is, for those of you that don't know, it's one of these games where the character does not know how to fight. So even if you do a second playthrough, whilst it's a tiny bit easier, and it is possible for you to maybe do a little better, you really still are not going to be... You know, in that first stage where you're supposed to run away from the cumin, it is possible to fight him if you really, really, really just, you know. But it's probably not going to happen. At least not if you're playing hardcore mode. It's probably not going to happen even then, even though you are so much better. Because the character doesn't know any of the moves that you need to do. And so you just get, the character gets better and better at these. It's a real, honest to God role-playing game. It doesn't rely, you know, Skyrim?
Welcome.
Once you get good at Skyrim, you could probably play Skyrim even with a level 1 character and do relatively well. You know how to play, yeah? Yes, you're not going to be doing that much damage with your sword. Yeah, enemies are going to do way more to you, but like, you know, you can dodge the arrows and you can do the blocks and it's Kingdom Come Deliverance is nothing like that. You start a game again, you're a blacksmith again. You ain't blocking, you ain't doing anything. It's like, it was soul crushing at times, but in a really good way. So yeah, I loved it. The game looks so nice. I tell you what, The first game looks so good on my system now. I can run it at 120 frames a second with everything to max details. But the game always looked good. It really did. Oh, look, you've got a dog as well. You've got a dog as well. Didn't like your first combat encounter was scripted for you to lose. Which combat encounter was scripted that you had to lose? I don't think there was one you were scripted to lose. The first one that you were scripted to lose was the big guy. The what was he called? The fight with the drunk. Oh no, you can beat the drunk. You can beat the drunk. Runt, that was him. Runt. Runt is the first one to be scripted. But that's got to be scripted. And I'll be honest with you, I felt like it was right. I mean, he's a monster. He's a level 20 knight sort of thing. He's what I'm talking about. The idea that you, as a blacksmith, should have been able to beat him is ludicrous. The idea that you should have been able to beat him is just, it's outside the realm of possibility, in my opinion. And I think it was really well done because you could almost get away with like using a bow to kill some people. And when you met those like people robbing dead bodies, you could fight them, maybe. But as soon as you met an actual trained warrior, and he was supposed to be a tough trained warrior, you just got your ass handed to you, and it just felt right. Am I going to play the Elden Ring DLC for yourself? Apparently I am, because apparently they add new gameplay styles. That's what I needed to get back to Elden Ring, a new way of playing. But yeah. So that was it, right? I mean, this wasn't part of the Xbox showcase, but people were interested in it. So there you go. Those are the things I was interested in. Starfield is one of those things I'm going to have to look into a lot more. But everything else, a lot of them, I'm going to have to wait for gameplay trailers and possibly even reviews before I decide whether or not I'm going to play them on the channel. Karate, Elden Ring. Yeah. Can't believe Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is releasing this year. Exactly. So we've got Stalker and this year. There's no way I can play anything else this year. This and Stalker and Fallout London. I mean, Fallout London might be getting an announcement soon. I mean, here's the thing. If Fallout London hadn't come out, I might well have been trying to bring Tale of Two Wastelands back. But I think now I'm going to try and hold off because I want to be ready for Fallout London.
Welcome, minion.
I've actually got some... I've been getting this save game ready for Fallout. And I did record some of it for the charity stream. I've recorded myself doing the new quests that came in the next gen thing. So I did record myself a little bit playing almost absolute vanilla Fallout 4, which is weird. So I might see if I could string those together as just to give people an idea of what new things were added. But we'll have to see. But apart from that, really, honestly, the rest of this year is too much. Who was that? Dark Invader, resub, 33 months. A hype train is close. Ooh. Several Twitch subs. Mr. Tav. Subscribe for 2 months, currently on a 1 month streak. Thank you very much. Kalos. Thank you for the resub, 63 months.
Welcome, minion.
And, oh good grief, what was... Angelic Mike, resub.
Welcome, minion.
Moody, oh. McNinja72 said nothing wrong, nothing...
Welcome, minion.
Nothing wrong with going vanilla. You are correct. Mr. Tav gifted 5 subs.
Welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tav. We got the hype train now, right? Oh no, it's still close.
Welcome.
Ginger Jotun. Thank you for the resub, 36 months. Oh, I've met my goal. I wanted to get 200 subs again. I'm at 213 now, I think. Nadamka, thank you for the $10 super chat.
Welcome.
Thanks for doing this debrief. Have you considered doing more shorter games? Something you could do in 10 to 12, 20 videos? Yeah, but which games would those be? When will me and Che be streaming again? No idea, to be honest. Things are pretty hard for both of us at the moment. He streams a lot earlier than I do now, and he's having to stream less because he's got a real job now. So, yeah. Times are tough, but I'm gonna try not to complain about it in this video. This is about the future of gaming for this year, and honestly, it's looking pretty good. Honestly, it's looking pretty good. Who was that? Captain Zero. Thank you for the resub. 90 months. Gopher, are you the type of gamer to wait for games to play out of the box or waiting for the majority of patches? Either or. I played Starfield right out of the box. I played Cyberpunk right out of the box. I don't think it's necessarily always the best idea, though. I mean, classic example is Starfield. Probably Starfield I should have just played for myself and then waited for the DLC that's coming out now and then done a Let's Play now. That would probably have been the correct way round to do it. Wait for all the material and then do one playthrough. Hopefully at a point where the game's not getting quite the negative reaction that it was getting in the start. So yeah, I think overall it's a bit of a mixed thing. But for example, games like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I'm going to wait for patches and mods. Yeah, June update, 7 minutes, released 15 minutes ago. Yeah, thank you very much for that update. So I can get it started. No free content unless you purchase the premium edition. Oh. I don't know what edition I've got, to be honest. Really wonder about Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Anyone has any info? Not that I know. You shouldn't wait, follow the hype. Starfield is special case. Well, you know, why is Starfield a special case? I mean, there are plenty of games that I think are going to be an amazing success, and indeed are. And yet, no one watches them when I play them. And yet I can sometimes boot up an old game and get a lot more views. But again, I think a lot of the problem at the moment is Let's Plays just seem to be dying, unfortunately. As in, people are just not watching them. Or they're not watching me. But people are telling me it's not just me. Jedi Survivor was unplayable for you at launch. Survivor that's different to Fallen Order, isn't it? I've heard it was pretty bad, actually. I've heard it was pretty damned bad. I played the first one, Fallen Order, and loved it. Was really looking forward to Survivor, but then I was told it was a really bad PC port. Did you ever play Dragon Age Inquisition? No one never got around to it. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure I played it, a preview build of it. Yes, I played a preview build of it, I think. And then I never got round to actually playing it. Jedi Survivor still stutters on PC to this day. Yeah, can't be doing that. I just rewatched your entire Let's Play of Witcher 3. It's those current games I can't stand. Right, but it seems to be true of every game I play at the moment. My dude, you have a 4090. How bad could it be on a PC? Apparently it has stutters no matter what your system is. Should Skyrim copy Kingdom Come's combat? Nope. I'm very much a believer of different games should provide different things. And I am going to say it. All of the problems I've ever had with, say, BGS games are when they try to be someone else. It's the ways that they change the current thing and try to be something else. Inquisition is actually pretty good. Well, I've heard it's a bit grindy, so... Ever consider doing mod showcases again? I do, but, you know, again, The problem is there wasn't that much interest in those either after a while. I think the market got saturated by mod showcases. People just do this. I see them pop up in my feed all the time. 10 must-have mods that you cannot live without. You know, and I think people just switch off because the mod showcases didn't do very well in the end. That could be because it was Fallout 4. And, you know, Fallout 4's, the mod scene did quieten down. But then there started to be a lot of drama with mod makers and YouTubers that got me really sick to the stomach. So, I don't know. I mean, look, when Starfield's got its creation kit, I might actually, because I was looking forward to covering mods again in Starfield. I really was. So I might be playing Starfield again soon, but it'll be for me. It will be for me, and I'll be trying mods and trying different things. So yeah, I mean, I will do mod showcases again for Starfield now that we've started to get them. What drama was that? Well, there were a bunch of mod makers doing copyright strikes. Well, there was a few, shall we say, copyright strikes on YouTubers who covered their mods. Very toxic. And the arguments on like the Nexus forums about this issue were just horrible. Absolutely horrible. So, you know. However, Mr. Gopher, did you try the new Lord of the Rings game, Mines of Moria? Yes, me and Che actually did. It's quite good, but it's another one of those sort of Survivor type games. But yeah. So I generally try to make what I want to make. Now, Fallout London's coming out. It's very possible that while playing Fallout London, I will be installing tons of mods. And I might just get that urge to do it again. Like, you know, Fallout mod series. I can very much. Would shorter episodes help? It has occurred to me. I used to do videos that were between 30 and 35 to 40 minutes long, and then it got to like 50 minutes long, and yeah, it's possibly I'm just doing too long. Maybe I should start making all my episodes last half an hour max. It is possible that is the problem. Modding attitudes have really shifted to the negative these days. I will admit, the toxicity in the modding community is sometimes more than I'd like. And it happens every time I make one of these videos. Here's what'll happen. I'll make a video covering some mods, and there'll be at least 3 comments. Oh my god, I can't believe you're still covering Nexus. Nexus sucks. They're Nazis or something. Or, oh my god, you're using Vortex. Vortex is crap, and my house burnt down when I tried to use it or something. There's tons of that stuff now, non-stop. That's always been there, but it feels like it's like ramped up in certain cases. You always hear of some drama going on. Wasn't there a big drama about the Skyrim unofficial patch? Because everyone was blaming it for a bunch of problems, and it turns out that it wasn't the mod that was the problem. But there was tons and tons of people really leaning into it. But yeah, the graphics look good in this. I've got to stop. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop this because honestly, it's. I'm going to leave it a nice pause so that it stops distracting me. Yeah. The internet and toxicity is just ramped up in general. Maybe. I think the problem is there's always been a certain percentage of toxicity and negativity on the internet. As the internet has grown, so has that side of things. The problem is, it only, once upon a time, if you had, let's just say you had 1% of the population doing negative, toxic things, it didn't swamp your attention because, one comment in 100 and Yeah, all right, there's an idiot. And now there's 99 good things. But as the internet has grown, it's still only 1% toxicity, but the toxicity seems to rise to the top. I think the algorithms are now pushing that forward because it gets more engagement. And so whilst still 99% of the people on the internet are fine, the 1% that are not get shoved in our faces constantly. Constantly. What other mod launchers is there? I've only used Vortex. Mod Organizer 2 is the current favourite for some of the old timers. And for good reason. Very, very powerful tool. It has a completely different way of approaching modding, though. It's got an old school approach to modding that a lot of people will find completely alien now because they basically have been using nothing but Vortex. But also a lot of old timers, because they're steeped in that old school mentality, they find Vortex a little problematic. I know I did when I made the switch. I'll be absolutely honest with you. When I made the switch to Vortex, it was purely out of necessity. It was purely because I pretty much had to, because of the sort of videos I make. It took me 6 months to a year to really get my head around how it did things. Nexus is increasing prices again. Did you hear about that? No, I didn't, unfortunately. So, but yeah, there's a fan-made Nexus mod manager. I use that. Oh, is that really? Someone's kept that up. I mean, it's look. There's a bunch of different options. You can even use wire. I can never remember which. I know the letters in my head. And it's one of these words I see, but I never say it out loud. I use it for making bash patches, but you can use it as a mod manager. There's loads of them. It's wire, isn't it? Wire, bash. Yeah, right. So yeah. Sorry to hear about Let's Play struggles. Leonard is BAFTA-worthy performance. Well, thank you very much. I might even go back to Leonard one day. I found Vortex much easier to transition to, as I was always a little confused by Mod Organizer 1. Right, well, that's the thing, FK. Vortex was made for basically making modding accessible to the masses, you know, without them having to think of 10,000 different things at once. But there is a certain section of the community that loves having to think about things like that. And honestly, with a lot of the Mod Organizer fan base, it's not so much what Mod Organizer can do. It's the fact that they had to know so much more to be able to do it than you have to with Vortex. They don't like the fact that Vortex does a ton of stuff for you. Vortex will just completely remove the need for what was about 97% of the modding process once upon a time. And they don't like that. They want to do it themselves, and you know what? More power to them. Modding is a hobby, and if you enjoy doing it that way, that you do it. You do it. But a lot of people didn't want to do things. What they just wanted to get the mods installed so they go play the game. And as a general rule, they've tended to move over to Vortex because that's, you know, Vortex sorting is a disaster. Except it's not. Vortex sorting just is completely painless. I mean, honestly, that's the funny thing about Vortex. Since using Vortex, I've not had a load order problem in 6 years, 5 years, 6 years. I can't remember. It's just not been a thing. I keep waiting for it to be a thing. It's just not been a thing. I know people think I'm crazy, and I am, but I still like doing it manually. No, you're not crazy. I mean, that's the thing. Back then, that's how you did it, and that was kind of half the fun, and knowing all about this sort of thing, just, yeah. There's no harm in you enjoying that. Now, I tried to sort mods on Fallout 4 with Vortex. Texture mods wouldn't work. Tried Mod Organize, it just worked. Well, if it works for you, John Smith, then more power to you. Vortex relies on loot and it's hardly updated, at least the way I want it. All right, well, you can tweak it yourself. And here's the thing. Once you get used to setting those tweaks, I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, I've just got used to doing it. So now if I look at something with a mod and think, no, that needs to go later in the load order, it takes me a quick few seconds to set up a rule and I'm done. And that's the thing with Vortex, because it's forced me into this different mentality. It forces you into a stitch in time saves 9 mentality. It won't let you just, oh, I'm going to stick you there, that'll work, type thing. It won't let you do that. It forces you to think a little more about the process and what you want from your mods in that regards. I mean, I can't just look at a mod and go, oh, I'll stick it at the bottom of my load order, that'll probably work. With Vortex, what you've got to do is you've got to look at it and go, all right, which mods of mine is that going to conflict with? All right, it needs to go after those. And then you say, right, just go after those. And from that moment onwards, you never have to go back. Because that was the other thing with manually sorting your load order that people don't talk about, but happened all the time, if they're being honest. You'd sort your load order out, and then you'd install 20 more mods over the next couple of weeks and not realize that one of the mods that you sorted into the correct place has now moved out of the correct place because of all the new ones you've got. And something would break and you'd think it was a new mod you'd installed, but it wasn't. It's an old mod you installed, but it's now in the wrong load order. Or you uninstall a mod and then reinstall it, and now it's people don't like to admit it, but the number of times you've screwed your mod order up because you forgot something that you sorted out several weeks ago happens all the time. So isn't Vortex about to be obsoleted anyways? Might be. But what I will tell you is Vortex will do pretty much everything you need it to do, if you're willing to change the way you approach modding. There is nothing you can't install and manage with Vortex. Nothing. Right? You'll see people claim otherwise. No. These people are incorrect. It can do pretty much, it can install anything. The question is, do you want to learn how to make it do it? Or relearn. And what I will say is, if you're new to modding, Vortex is probably the way to go. Again, because it has that stitch in time saves 9 mentality, but it also does a lot of the lifting for you. But if you're already steeped in modding and you've got your load order working with Mod Organizer or Mod Organizer 2, why would you switch? There's no reason to. There isn't. I use Vortex for Starfield and Mod Organizer for older games. There you go, Pedro. That's pretty much how it happened with me. I started using Vortex on one game because I had to learn how to use it to make tutorials about it. And then slowly, as the years went by, I ended up doing all of my games on Vortex. Does Vortex place the mod files directly into the game folder? No. No, Vortex has never done that. But there's a lot of confusion about how the file systems work for things like Mod Organizer 2, and Vortex. A lot of confusion. You'll hear people talking about things like virtual folders, etc. And if you ever see that type of talking, warning bells go off. You're probably talking to someone who's heard a talking point and is now repeating it ad nauseum. The virtual folder thing, that is something that we spoke about like 10 years ago. And even then we were like, look, this is not technically correct by any means, but we're going to use this as an analogy just to explain, why Mod Organizer is better than, at the time, Nexus Mod Manager. But it's like technically complete garbage. But my Skyrim folder seems bloated. Right. The files look like they are in your Skyrim folder. But they are... See, this is where we get into... This is why it becomes technically very difficult. Files are not in folders. None of them are. Every single folder that you see in your file system is a virtual folder. The files do not exist in those folders. Those are links to the files. So, what I will tell you is if you look at a file that's in your Skyrim folder, if you check, say, Vortex, and look where the file is installed, if you go along and right-click, you will find that the file is installed somewhere completely different, right? But it's appearing in the folder, in the Skyrim data folder, right, as well. Here's the thing. The file is not, there are not two copies of this file. The file is where it is on the disk or on the SSD or the HD. The link to it is appearing in two places. Right? The link is, it's so goddamn complicated. This is why I do not like these analogies. So, but it actually makes it makes no real difference anyway. From an actual practical point of view, it makes no difference. It's just people tend to look inside the folder and then think, oh, well, it was installed in there. It wasn't. The files are installed somewhere completely differently, and they're installed in the exact same way Mod Organizer does it. And then they are deployed pretty much the same way Mod Organizer does it. The difference is Mod Organizer deploys it to a temporary folder that is then fed to the game when the game calls for files in that folder, because Mod Organizer intercepts it and says, oh no, these are the files you're looking for. Vortex deploys them in a way that your Windows Explorer can understand them. So not at runtime. But the process is almost identical. It's just it's hard links versus soft links. And for example, you can go along to your Vortex and you can undeploy all your mods and it will take a second and all the files will disappear. It's because the files were never there. So yeah. How did we get onto this? Anyway, you know what? That's it. Henry is really focused on this discussion. Yeah. Which do you prefer then? Right now, probably Vortex. Here's what I miss about Mod Organizer. The overflow folder. That was bloody useful. There are still things I miss about Mod Organizer. There are still certain things I do miss, but they're not things that I can't live without. They're things that I can get around using Vortex. Dead easy. But the overflow folder, that's one of the ones I really quite liked. So, yeah. But it all comes down to personal preference. It really does. And I just wish people would stop coming to my videos and just going bonkers. Why are you using Vortex? You do not miss the overflow folder. You hated it. Well, this is the thing. What you've got to remember, FK, is people like me, we sometimes do things where that is really, really useful. It's the same with manual load ordering. Believe it or not, there are times when I want to do that. But those times are when I want to break my load order quite deliberately for testing purposes. And Vortex doesn't let you do that. I mean, Vortex will not let me break stuff. Well, it will, but it will force me to jump through hoops to do so. Because you'll say, right, move this down here. And they'll go, yeah, but you told me that shouldn't be after this. And go, well, I'm changing my mind. And then you go, yeah, but wait a minute, that's going to break another rule that you set up. So it's like Vortex is sat there going, you're doing something stupid. And there are times when you want to go, I know, let me do something stupid. But it won't. Because the creators, the developers of Vortex know that if you give people the option to do something stupid, they will take it more often than not if it saves them a few seconds. It's the stitch in time that saves 9 concept. And they realized that an awful lot of the complaints and bug reports that mod authors themselves were getting were because people were doing stupid things. And so they made it so that Vortex pretty much makes it hard to do stupid things. And all of a sudden, there's a lot less problems. Now, it is true, people who are used to other ways of doing it, Mod Organizer, for example, will usually try it out, immediately find a problem, and then go, well, I can't fix this, I'm going back to Mod Organizer. The truth is, you could fix it, you just have to figure out how with Mod Organizer. And yeah, I appreciate that sucks. Sucked for me when I had to do it as well. But there has never been a mod or a tool that people have said to me, oh, well, you can't do this with Vortex, that I've not been able to do. I mean, for example, the Finis video I did for Vortex, that was as a direct result of someone coming along and guaranteeing me that it was not possible to install Finis with Vortex. They were guaranteed it. So, of course, my first thought was, really? Challenge accepted. It really wasn't hard. So, anyway, why am I talking about this still? All right, I'm going to head out. It's only midnight, and I'm staying up till 6 in the morning. I'm going to go off and get some food. I'm starving. Since hardlink is a mirror to the file like a copy, it takes space in places. No, it doesn't. Basically, the file is the same file. It's just pointed to from 2 different places, but it's still the same file. If you take a text file and then make a hard link to that text file and you edit it from either link, it will edit the same text file. And you can also, for example, I can deploy all my mods for any game and fill my data folder up, and my hard drive will have no extra files. At least this is how it is if you are using 1 hard drive. How it works if you're on 2, I don't know. Will it have to make a copy of them then? I don't know. If you've got your mods installed onto a separate hard drive, maybe it has to make a copy. I would have to look that up. But I have 1 drive where all the mods are installed and the games are installed. And it makes like no bloody difference. The hard link is probably less than 4 kilobytes. It's just an entry on the file system table. Exactly. It's like a shortcut, but it's not a shortcut. But it's like a shortcut. Shortcuts are actually links to links. But basically, you know, I can have my mods for a game installed, and the mod files are like 20 gigabytes, right? And then I can undeploy the mods, like switch profile to a vanilla profile, and I will not free up any space because those mods are still installed. They're just no longer deployed. Data file is now completely blank or empty or only has the vanilla files. Not gained any space, or at least not worth talking about. So, you can't hard link across drives, but you can symlink or directory junction across. It's possible that Vortex does something like that, because I don't think they would actually double up your files. Although, again, never tried it, so I can't guarantee it. As far as I know, Vortex does not allow mods on a separate drive with hard link. It didn't. Isn't there an experimental feature that I've never tried? I don't know. Okay, ladies and gents, I'm going to head out of here. I am going to see. I'm really having some difficulty getting things working, but I'm hoping my credits are going to work. Whee! They're working. When will I be back? Tomorrow, 9 p.m. Probably. Lot of subscribers and resubs, new members, etc. Thank you to everyone who donated, both to me and to the worthy cause. We've had another one. Ehlechim. I'm probably butchering that pronunciation. I do apologize. Thank you for the $20 donation to end Alzheimer's. Much appreciate it. When the showcase is finished being edited, I will try and get it live again. But honestly, I think you probably got more information about what I think from this stream, right? Will the showcase stream be a VOD? It is a VOD. It's just being edited at the moment to remove a bunch of sound because of copyright issues. Raise the goal to 10,000. I've raised it to 2,500. Let's see if we get there first, yeah? Let's see if we get there. But yeah, I actually think it was a good showcase. I had a good time sharing all of this with you guys. It was a ton of fun. Tomorrow, 9 o'clock. Actually, it's today now, isn't it? Today, 9 o'clock my time. So that's in 21 hours, 20 hours and 15 minutes. I will be streaming to end Alzheimer's. And then I'll be taking a break and doing another stream 6 hours after that. So a lot of late night streaming tomorrow. Hope you can join me for at least one of them. When am I playing the mod? That is at 3 a.m. my time, 8 p.m. Central US time. All of the live streams are already queued up. If you go to my main page, you will see them, hopefully converted to your time zone. So, thank you very much. Do I sleep? I'm now trying to get on US time, so I will be sleeping during the day tomorrow and Tuesday. And then I will be swallowing the pain and sleeping for a couple of hours and then trying to get back into a European time. So, thank you very much. I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. Good night.